In this video we're going to talk about a powerful new Xbasic function that is very useful for Xbasic programmers who are generating HTML themselves in A5W pages. So a very common pattern in web applications is to have a template that contains, say, some HTML markup with placeholders for data fields, and then to do a query against a table and then merge data from that table into the template to produce HTML output. This is a pattern that is used by web developers regardless of their programming language, whether they're writing PHP code or ASP.NET code, etc. So in this video we're going to talk about some Xbasic functions that make it extremely easy to merge data into a template. So this is what we're talking about right now. So you can see that in this window over here I have some HTML with some data. You can see there's name John Jones, Massachusetts, and there's Richard Smith with no state filled in over there, and this is just some HTML that I might want to basically display in the browser. And you can see here that in my Xbasic script over here I've actually got this template, and you can see there's name, and then curly bracket is a placeholder that for replaceable data, and inside that placeholder I've got ds.data, so that stands for data source.data first name. So I want to basically get the first name field from my data source, and then I want to call the Xbasic upper trim function on it. So that's why John there is in capitals. Then you can see here we're getting the last name field from our data source, and then we're getting the state field from our data source. Then we've got a BR, and then you can see inside these curly brackets I've just called the Xbasic date function, and you can see that prints out the date value over there. So to reference a field value from the data source, you use the syntax ds data source dot data and then the name of the field, and then inside curly brackets you can put any Xbasic that you want. So you can even write calls to your own Xbasic function. So let's now take a look at how this code executes. So you can see here that we've just defined our template over here, and now we're defining the data source. And the real power of this new function, which is called A5 merge data into template, is that the data source can be an Xbasic array, which is what I've got over here, or it can be a DBF table, or it could be an AlphaDAO SQL result set, or it can be some JSON data. So we're going to demonstrate all of those data sources in this little sample script over here. So continuing over here, we're creating an Xbasic property array initially with no entries in the array, and now we're going and we're using the square bracket with no index syntax to add properties to our property array. So the first entry in the property is going to have a first name of John, a last name of Jones, and a bill state region property of Massachusetts. And then because there's no two dots over there, this is now the second entry in the list. So the second entry in the array is going to have a first name of Richard and a last name of Smith, but there's no bill state region. So when we merge the data, so here we call merge data into template. Our template is specified here and the data source over there, and then we use the showVar function to show the results. So go ahead there and